Welcome everyone. I go by the name of Camilio Salamander and my co-host KB the Mark.
Cause I'm a fucking mark for this shit.
You are watching the feature #1 wrestling podcast show on YouTube. With that being said, welcome to the D&B podcast. So we got the Smackdown results. So Smackdown opened up with a promo. It began with Cesaro and Rollins basically picking up their feud. And Daniel Bryan and Jey Uso and Roman Reigns also became in the middle of it. It became a situation where Roman Reigns was taking the offense that Cesaro wanted to challenge him. So Daniel Bryan came out to have Cesaro back to even the odds. And Roman was out there with Paul and Jey. But Daniel Bryan ended up taking on Seth Rollins and main event Uso in the tag match. So with this first promo, it's really looking like it's gonna be after Roman put Daniel Bryan away. It's really looking like it's gonna be Roman and Cesaro. Do you think Cesaro can really pull the upset?
I absolutely believe that Cesaro can pull the upset. I don't want Cesaro to pull the upset though. I told you after WrestleMania this was the direction they were going. I felt like when he beat Seth Rollins at WrestleMania that this was the direction they needed to go. I like that. I like this promo. I like this promo a lot, but not from what you would think. I like this promo more from Daniel Bryan's point of view. I like the fact he was hyping up Cesaro because there are still some people out there who don't really pay attention to the main card, who might believe that Cesaro is not everything that he's cracked up to be. But if you've been a true Cesaro fan or even watched the product, you've always known that they were ready to push Cesaro, but they pulled back at the last minute. I'm glad that they're going through it. Cesaro has proven to be a workhorse, and he'll do exactly what you need him to do. Cesaro deserves this, and honestly, the good part of me is really hoping that he pulls off the upset and beats Roman, because this is the type of wrestler that Roman would overlook and say that he's not worthy of challenging him, and this would be the wrestler to pull off said upset.
Yeah, but this promo basically led into Roman Reigns officially challenging Daniel, and then it led into a tag match. Now, this match basically took up the first hour of the show, but one thing I do not understand: how WWE could put together great tag matches between four people who not even a tag team. This match was great, but they not even an official team. They matches is way better than the whole tag division on both shows. Wow. But this match was great. It ended with Bryan getting a running knee on main event Uso. He got him with the pin. But this match was great. It was long, but it was great. Like, I don't understand how y'all can't even provide this same quality in y'all own tag division. Wow.
Yeah. Before I address that, the Daniel Bryan the Tribal Chief Challenge and Daniel Bryan came later on at the end of the night, but we'll go ahead and address it here. I do like the fact that in that promo to close the show, Roman stepping up to Cesaro and saying, "You haven't done enough." And when you think about it, he really, if you're looking over his whole body of work, you can say that Cesaro has done enough. But if you're looking just over the past couple of months, I mean, WWE just really did start booking you and pushing you like a month and a half to 2 months ago. So you really haven't done anything for me lately. But I do like the fact that he still had a challenge to issue out, and he goes to Daniel and he's like, "I don't like you. I've never liked you. And I'm going to give you one last chance. But just know, not if, when you lose, you're gone." And I think that's going to be the fire. That's going to be the thing that lights that fire under Cesaro. and he's going to start showing the tribal chief that he deserves to challenge for that universal title. The tag team match was great. I was surprised when it went like 2 or 3 commercial breaks. I think it was 2, wasn't it? I think it was 2 commercial breaks.
No, it was long. But I was glued.
I was glued to the screen. I was surprised. I'm like, they are really giving this match time. But I like that SmackDown went with a select few stars and not to, just not throwing matches out there. They stuck with their main storylines, and that's all the action you got. And I like that. I love Seth Rollins. I guess he feels like he didn't have to finish the match. So there's something about heel teammates walking out on somebody I don't like. And I get it though, because his real beef is with Cesaro, not Daniel Bryan and Cesaro. But I guess he left main event Uso there to get the running knee. I do like that Daniel Bryan got the win, because that really set up the promo. That really set up the promo for later that night with Roman.
It does, but it's like, man, main event Uso, take his name away, because like he been losing for like a whole month, putting up great matches, but he been losing also. But I don't know, man.
Well, that's just WWE not.
Why they doing him like that?
That's just WWE not giving you more matches. I mean, WWE not giving different matches. They feel like, well, we got to use the people in the storyline. Like, no, you don't have to. Just like I told you a couple of weeks ago, the go home. Well, not the go home. I think it was a week before the go home show when Daniel Bryan had the street fight against main event Uso. I'm like, it doesn't make sense for that match to happen unless Daniel Bryan was going to get beat up. And on top of that, you had main event Uso lose in a street fight after already getting tapped out by Daniel Bryan in a steel cage. Right. Like, you're not doing nothing but killing the main event Uso name, like you said. Like Roman Reigns took main event Uso from nothing and turned him into a main eventer, to where people were like, I could see main event Uso with a singles career and looking strong in that mid card. But now you just got him tapping out, losing street fights, taking pins from Daniel Bryan. And it's like, it was main event Uso really main event? Or was that just how strong the vortex is when you're around the tribal chief? So I don't know. Maybe they're doing it to make Roman Reigns look strong. But I don't know. I don't like main event Uso taking this many losses from Daniel Bryan either.
Right. But following that, we got Tamina versus Nia Jax. Now, basically, well, it was short. Tamina, she was basically able to hit a super kick and get Nia Jax for the roll-up pin. Now, I hate these roll-up pin finishers. WWE, they overuse them a lot. They overuse these. But I love that, one thing about WWE, what we be complaining about, if, we hear the crowd chant for one person, and most of the time, WWE ignore that person. They won't push them. But when they do listen, they know how to give it to us, right? But you know how in WrestleMania, everybody was cheering for Tamina.
Right.
They're giving us what we want, but it's not what we want. We don't want to keep seeing Tamina and Natalya versus Nia Jax and Shayna. We don't want to keep seeing that. Even y'all do know that even if y'all just put Tamina and Nia Jax in the match, that's still the same match. It don't matter if it's a single match or not. It's the same damn match I gave us last week, the week before. Just we seen that shit on Monday too. Like they literally giving the same match twice a week.
Well, then they go against Natalya didn't they go against Lana and Naomi on Monday?
Yeah, like they do it different. Like Monday, it'd be them going up against, Lana, and then, Mandy Rose and them getting involved. Then Friday, we get Tamina and Nia Jax versus them. Like we getting the same shit. Like we got that shit Monday. We get the same shit Friday. We got the same shit Monday. Get the same shit. It's the same stuff. It's like like I keep saying, why should I care about the women's tag titles if y'all showing me y'all don't care? Y'all literally giving us the same matches, like y'all ain't got nothing else for them. Nothing else. There's so many people that just sitting backstage chilling, waiting for that name to be called that y'all can be honestly doing. And y'all honestly can do it now because WrestleMania is long gone. Y'all got a whole nother year to build up towards it. So y'all can really be building up some women and creating some tag team because y'all really need it. But I mean, who am I? I'm just a fan.
Salamander, are you surprised? They fired a tag team. They fired a women's tag team. This match was bad. In my opinion, this is just my opinion. When you have two wrestlers who can't really move in the ring, in my opinion, it turns out bad. And Nia Jax can't move in the ring. And Tamina can't move in the ring either. Yeah. And it's not like they know how to wrestle as powerhouses, you know, which is crazy because you would think they would know how to wrestle a powerhouse match, which is basically what these two women are in the women's division. You guys are powerhouses. I don't need you guys to be out here trying to reinvent the wheel. Go out here, hit a couple big moves, and then let's go home. Because when you guys try to put on a great match, it never works. So why are we even going through the motions? Like, Tamina, you can't body slam Nia Jax. You guys have tried it. It didn't work. Maybe just try to do, maybe just stick to the kicks and the hits and the punches. But you suplexing Nia Jax ain't working, and I don't know why. Maybe Nia Jax can't jump on those two bad knees. You know, maybe that's all she can do is just offense, and she can't really take any of those suplex bumps. Or maybe, Tamina, you're just not strong enough to do that to Nia Jax. And that's fine. Like, Nia Jax, very beautiful woman. You know, she's a bigger girl. She's a bigger woman. And that, you know, that makes sense that you wouldn't be able to do that to Nia. I don't need all the technical shenanigans with you two. I just want a strong hitting powerhouse match from two powerhouse women in the women's division. And we can go home on a super kick. I didn't need the roll up. I understand you want to make Tamina, I understand you want to keep Nia Jax looking strong. She got beat on a roll up. But when the matches are bad like this, sometimes you just need to go back to the basics. And honestly, that's what, if you're going to put those two women in a match, they need to just do the basics.
This match was sloppy.
This match was horrible.
That roller pin was sloppy. She could have kicked out, but yeah. We got Apollo Crews versus KO. Now, this was for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, midway through the match, Sami Zayn, he can't run it down to distract KO. Now, KO, he was able to regain control, but I can't pronounce his name, but Apollo, yeah, him, Abacado. He came out and got up on an apron and was able to distract KO, and this allowed Apollo Crews to get the roller pin. Now, after the match, he went ahead and hit him with his finisher and stuff. So this could be setting up a future feud with Apollo Crews, not even Apollo Crews, but really Apollo's right-hand man versus KO. I can see that really going on. But later on in the show, right after this, we got Apollo Crews getting attacked by Big E while he was trying to cut a promo. But later on, throughout the show, it was announced that next week, Apollo is going to defend his Intercontinental Championship against Big E. So I kind of like how this is going. They're setting up a three-way feud, kind of, sort of, but it's really going like, I like how they're doing, like, basically like he's a fighting champion. They're making him, Apollo Crews, a fighting champion. I mean, he defended it this week. He's defending it next week. So if you keep that going, I find that great. But the one thing I don't want to see him continue to get wins because of a distraction or because his right-hand man got involved. I do want to see him pick up some wins by himself and just have dude on the side for intimidation, because that would actually build him up as a more serious character to take. But if you keep having him get involved in your matches, Ain't nobody gonna take you serious as champion. I just hope WWE don't overdo that. Even though we already know they are gonna have basically his whole title run gonna be because he was saved by his right hand man. We already know that's what WWE gonna go towards, but they shouldn't, because it's not gonna benefit Apollo at all.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to benefit Apollo. They set up they sowed the seeds of the three-way rivalry with the promo between Kevin Owens and Biggie, where Biggie was basically saying, "You line skipper, you jumped the line to get this title match." And Kevin Owens and Biggie were both laughing about it. KO just saying, "You'll be able to challenge me when I win," and KO lost to Apollo Crews via help from his right-hand man. The match was great. They gave it a lot of time, which is what I like. You definitely did. It was good. It wasn't a great match. It was a good TV match for KO and Apollo Crews to set up the storyline going forward. I did like the Biggie attack on Apollo Crews. So you're showing a more serious side of Biggie, which is what you wanted, which is what I wanted. He's looked good in his singles run so far, but if we're really wanting to get Big E to that next level, we got to see a more serious side. But honestly, I think they're getting ready to move him up to that main event picture, because I think Apollo Crews, when they run the triple threat for the IC title, which they'll probably do at WrestleMania Backlash, I feel that Big E is going to take the pinfall and Apollo Crews is going to lose. KO is going to pin Big E. And then that's how you're going to continue that Apollo Crews and Kevin Owens storyline, and we'll be getting ready to move Big E up there, because you'll need a challenger after Cesaro, because I don't believe Cesaro is beating Roman.
I see where you're going, because I could see that. I could see Big E going up there and then challenging Roman Reigns. And he Big E, New Day Big E. And then Roman Reigns, basically him and main event Uso, basically gonna be pushing him to the edge, and it's gonna knock that happiness shit out of him. That's gonna then that's when you're gonna get the Big E Langston. NXT when he first came on, when he was with Dolph Ziggler, we're gonna get that Big E back.
Right.
I can see that leading up to it.
Yeah, and then honestly,
how many spears you gotta take before you stop smiling and you be like, bro, I gotta be serious.
Yeah, and that's
especially him.
Yeah, and that's my thing. It's like, if you're gonna pull a title switch, because they want fans at SummerSlam. That's the next time they want fans in attendance. And if you're gonna pull a title change, Big E beating the Tribal Chief sounds good, especially at SummerSlam in front of fans. Mm-hmm. That's the time to pull a title switch, and that's as long as you book Big E right. That's the guy. If you're not gonna do Cesaro, which I don't want them to do Cesaro, because I honestly would want Cesaro to turn heel and take that title off of Big E. That's what I ultimately would want. But if you're not going to pull it with Cesaro, Big E is the next guy. As long as he's booked, he doesn't have to be booked perfect, but he has to be booked damn near perfect in order for me to believe that he can take this belt off the Tribal Chief. Like the way they've been building up Cesaro, I can believe that Cesaro can pull an upset. Just because of how strong he's looked in his past couple of rivalries and his last couple of matches. But he's looked good in every one.
You want to know my main thing about Cesaro?
Go ahead.
Is he a good wrestler? Yes. But I'm not going to take him serious as a contender for the belt or even as a champion if he wins it. For the simple fact is, his finishing moves is not sellable for me. Like, I don't see him hitting Roman Reigns with 30 spins to then go put him on the shoulder, spin again, and let him fly off, and then that's it. I mean, that's bull. Even if you become champion and you finishing niggas off because you spinning them, getting them dizzy, that's trash. Like, because you got me dizzy.
Well, the swing just sets up for the sharpshooter or the gotch neutralizer. The gotch neutralizer is what he's doing. I mean, and let's be real, I'm pretty sure Cesaro could break somebody's neck with one of those European uppercuts if he really wanted to. I wonder, and he makes it look like he's putting everything into it, but I can probably guarantee you he's taking some off. I feel like if he was to do that at 110%, he could probably end somebody's career, break their jaw, if he did it with full force. But the swing just sets up for the sharpshooter. Honestly, I would, if you don't want Roman to tap, and you just want him to hit the Gotch neutralizer, you probably can do it when he would go to lock in the guillotine, because Cesaro's core strength is outstanding anyway. So if Roman goes in to lock in the guillotine, Cesaro transitions into the Gotch neutralizer. I can see him pulling it off like that. I do understand where you're coming from when you're saying you can't take him serious, because his moveset doesn't lend you to believe that he has enough power gain to beat Roman. But I tell you what, he's got endurance, and that's going to be the story, because Roman is very much power based. When's the last, outside of his last 2 title defenses, when's the last Roman Reigns title match that really went into the deep waters? That wasn't a specialty match. Like, of course, the Hell in a Cell match with main event Usos was going to go long. The triple threat, of course, that's going to go long, and Daniel Bryan can make Roman go that deep. But even like you said, you're one of the believers who believe that he tapped out at Fastlane to D-Bry.
He did.
Which he did not. My tribal chief did not tap. When matches go that deep, that's where my concern for Roman is. Does he have the endurance? How many people can really keep up with Cesaro endurance-wise? It's only a couple. And Daniel Bryan is one of them. So it ain't really that many after that. The longer the match goes, the more it favors Cesaro. And that's when I worry for Roman. Because Cesaro can withstand a lot of punishment. And he can keep going after the fact. So that's my concern for Roman. If Roman's power game isn't enough to get the job done, then where does he go?
So following this, we got promo from Aleister Black. Well, not really a promo, but this is the first time we've seen Aleister Black in 6 months. 6 months. When WWE was letting go some people, I was afraid that he was going to be on that list, because that he's not one of the, they already let go his wife, Zelina Vega, but he's not one of the guys that WWE is using or taking serious right now. So I was shocked when I didn't see his name on that list. But now that they showing him on TV now, hopefully he really stays, and hopefully they actually do something with him, because Aleister Black, man, he's a legitimate black badass. He got like one of the best finishers in WWE right now, and that's legitimate. Will knock your ass out. But I hope WWE do him right this time, man. I hope.
So did you like the vignette?
Yeah, I did, because I want to, he's a dark character. That's just who he is. So I want to see where it's gonna go.
I hated the vignette. He's still stuck in that room, sitting in that chair, but instead of looking for a fight, now he just wants to tell you stories. He's like the evil Mr. Rogers, just without the sweater.
I hope it leads somewhere, though.
It's not gonna lead to nothing. He'll be off of TV in 3 months with 2 or 3 matches, and nobody will like the gimmick. I thought he was playing Dungeons and Dragons. I could not wait for him to get off my screen and to address he was hoping he would be released. Why would they do that? We're doing this to make Zelina Vega mad for wanting to support unions. So yes, Zelina, we're going to keep your husband here, and we're going to keep giving him BS gimmicks, and we're going to rub it in your face. Your man's going to come home mad because of us, and we're going to sit here in the writer's room and do it with a smile.
But Bailey, she was interviewed backstage, and basically she was saying that she planned on getting her SmackDown Women's Championship back, and she gonna defeat Bianca Belair. So this match was made official for WrestleMania Backlash. So what's your prediction? You think she gonna pull off the upset, or you think Bianca gonna retain and continue her reign?
First off, before I address that, this promo was hilarious. Started off with I think it was it the Street Profits or just Montez? I believe it was just Montez, or it might have been both of the Street Profits. I can't recall. But it was so funny. He's sitting there on his phone. Because I'm thinking the whole time that Bianca Belair is at home. And he's just like, and this is why I love black people. Love our people. Hey, baby. Bailey's just got your name all in her mouth. What? What'd she say? She said she was gonna beat you for the SmackDown Women's Championship, and that you were nothing, and da 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 da. Oh, I'll be there. Cut to commercial. There's Bianca. Now, what was you saying? I'm like, ooh, they channeling into that black girl magic, and I'm kind of digging it. It would have been better if she was showed up with the belt on and she was taking off her earrings. Like, I mean, so what is we about to do? Because you doing a lot of talking, but I'm trying to get to these hands. I'm trying to show you what the SmackDown Women's Champion is about. Now, the deeper they go into it, I think the more I like it, because the fact that she showed up and was like, I mean, so what you trying to do? What was you saying? You was popping off at the mouth not that long ago. And then for Bailey to get, I don't even want to say get scared, but to play into the role of the heel, just like, no, I just think that me and you're going to have a great match. And then comes back and says what she's about to say, but leave. And I'm like, yeah, I'm liking this rivalry from the start.
Yeah. So to finish off SmackDown, we got Rey and Dominic Mysterio versus Otis and Chad Gable. Now, this match ended with a 619 and a frog splash for the pin. Now, in my opinion, I think this match was good. You know, I like the team of Otis and Gable together. I just like that. I just like the combo of Chad Gable suplex into Otis splash. That's a deadly combo, because Chad Gable, he can hit a good ass suplex, and just Otis being that damn big, just jumping on you, man. But you know, this is I believe this is the I believe they will be number one contenders for the SmackDown Tag Team titles against Rudolph. But my question is, will they finally become the first father-son duo tag team champions? I believe so.
I hated the match. This match was awful. I've seen it before. I've seen it so many times, and all you did was reverse the decision. Get it off my screen. It had no business being the main event. If they're going to pull the first father-son tag team champions, do it in front of fans and do it at SummerSlam, because they would deserve that moment.
Let's give Dominic his props, though. Every time that boy steps in the ring, he gets better and better. Remember, Chad Gable tried to hit him with that suplex, and he hit him with that aha, I'm still on my feet.
The roll through, or not the roll through on a suplex.
Yeah, then he tied his daddy in. His daddy did the work.
Seeing it so many times, it does not surprise me. Get these four off of my television. I don't need to see them again until SummerSlam, when they beat Alpha Academy.
What about what he did with Dominic? He was running, he slid out the ring to that roll up powerbomb into the barricade. I've
seen his daddy do it so many times.
But the fact that Dominic could do it, and he's that damn tall.
And that's the part, and that's why Rey Mysterio doing it, because he's so short, makes it dope. Dominic tall.
I'm telling you.
He better be able to do it. And then on top of that, he doesn't even do it with the same force that his daddy do it.
He's still. I'm telling you, when he's still finding his craft. When you find his craft, he's gonna be the perfect superstar. A mixture of Ray and Eddie Guerrero. I'm telling you, he's gonna be the perfect superstar. That's like somebody you would create on W2K.
He need to take his talents to the Performance Center and go to NXT and go with it the proper channels. Other than because I'm a Mysterio and I'm in this tag team with my dad, I'm gonna be up here taking time away from actual people who could be in the main event.
But if I'm wrestling, my daddy Triple H, I ain't going to NXT. I'm going straight to Raw.
First off, if I was the child of Triple H, why wouldn't I go to NXT? So we can already have the angle set up to where my dad gives me every title match that I want.
Nah. If I'm ready like how Dominic did, I'm going straight to the main roster. Like I got special treatment. I ain't got to do what y'all doing. But if you had to rate the show out of 10, what would you give it?
I would give it a 6 out of 10. The Tribal Chief and Daniel Bryan Cesaro storyline is really heating up. Next week's title match for Daniel Bryan, if he loses, he's gone. Part of me wants to believe that they'll pull some fuckery and really get that belt to Daniel Bryan for a week, so he's not gone from SmackDown. But then again, that doesn't do nothing for the Tribal Chief, does it?
And they need something fresh on Raw. He gonna leave from SmackDown, probably go to Raw.
And that's what I was thinking too. Like,
or he might leave for a couple months and then come back to SmackDown.
I would honestly like to see him get booted from SmackDown and then show up for Raw, probably the Raw after WrestleMania Backlash, so we can get that next challenger for the Almighty.
He gonna get put to sleep, bro.
He might get put to sleep, but we still need a challenger for the Almighty. And Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns put on a fantastic match at Fastlane.
You know, every time we bring up the Almighty, I gotta say it: perk lot, sleep, repeat.
I know.
Gotta say it.
I know. I hope he's champion until Survivor Series, when he goes toe to toe with my Tribal Chief. As of right now,
he gonna put Roman Reigns to sleep,
or is he gonna put the Almighty to sleep with that guillotine?
Nah, he gonna put Roman to sleep. They might put each other to sleep type shit. They both got in a headlock type. I don't know. They probably could do some shit like they. I could see them doing some shit like that to make both of them look strong type. Like they both got a submission in, they both tap at the same time, or they just both refuse to let go and they faint or some shit. It's gonna be something like that.
Honestly, I would just hope that
they both hit a double spear and it's a count out because they both didn't get up at the same time at up before 10.
You stole my finish right from under me, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, they just both go for a spear, they hit each other, and they don't answer the count of 2. There you go.
But I'm rating SmackDown a 7 out of 10. I'm gonna say SmackDown this week was way better than Raw. The only BS stuff I think that we actually got was the women's segment, and that was just a tag match. But like I said, every time, bro, give women wrestling a chance. We had one women's match, and that was sloppy and horrible. And then we had one promo from a woman, and that was the Bailey and Bianca promo. What the hell? I mean, at this point, I'm about to stop begging.
Nia Jax is showing you why they only give 2 segments at the most to the women.
But there's so many other women. I mean, all right, since we started this podcast, there's been about, I'll say, the same 7 to 10 women that we've been seeing week after week after week.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So it's like, you know, and I'm pretty sure they got more than 10 women signed to them that's on Raw and SmackDown. They got so many people. Just because Nia Jax is sloppy in the ring don't mean every other woman on the roster is. There's so many other women that can give you a Roman Reigns caliber match if you get in the damn time. If you get a story, the build up to it. They just won't do it for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know if any of the writers or anybody backstage is sexist or anything like that. But it's like, I don't know. Y'all not treating them the way they can. I mean, shit. Like I said, NXT, the women's matches and segments on NXT is way better than it is on Raw and SmackDown. I mean, we showed that they can do it. Shit, women's wrestling at its all-time high between the years of 2014 2018. They showed that they can do it on Raw and SmackDown. Don't know why they just not doing it again. Well, I mean, I'm about to start acting them on Twitter like, man, y'all need to do something because this shit boring when this stuff come on. I don't want to see the same shit. I understand it's a pandemic and stuff, but y'all could produce us some new stuff. Something, man. Y'all got so many people back there that's just waiting to be called. They literally sitting there in their gear, sitting backstage, just chilling, just waiting. I'll be mad, like, damn, I'm signed 3 years, I ain't wrestled since October last year. I'll be mad. Like, bro, I've just been coming to work every week, just sit back here, play Angry Birds and stuff.
Back there in catering with Titus O'Neil.
Man.
Listen, they do need to do something. I believe the writers just don't know how to write for women. And that's crazy because it's a drama. That's all wrestling is. It's a drama.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically a soap opera.
Yeah, it's just non-stop stories. And you can't write for women? I mean, they got the Charlotte Flair down pat. They got Bayley down pat. They got Bianca.
They only got the people they care about down pat, but it's like everybody else like, all right, we got the Raw's Women's Championship. We got to care about her and the contender. We got to care about the SmackDown Women's Championship and her contender. And that's it. Other than that, all the other women, I don't give a fuck. Make sure you book these 4 women good, though. But everybody else, just do what you do. I don't care. That's how it seemed like.
Yeah, that's the truth. You ain't never lied. Never lied.
You had to give a match of the night. What match would it be?
I'm going to go to the tag team match. They gave it a lot of time. And that match was was a good, not great television. Well, no, it was a great television tag match. See, when you have workers in there the caliber of a Seth and a Jay, main event Uso, and Cesaro and D-Bry, you can get those matches. But it is crazy, though, like to touch on what you said earlier, that you can get this caliber of a match with people who aren't in tag teams, but yet you can't get this within your own tag division. And that is really sad. But I feel like sometimes you just have to dumb it down. And how many times have we been on here and said they're using too many people? I'm sorry, we've never said that. That's just one of the things that I've thought while doing these podcasts so many times, and I've never really acknowledged it. They're using too many people, and they really slimmed it down tonight for SmackDown, and that's what I really liked. It flowed. It was a decent show. It kept me entertained outside of the women's match. Everything else I was highly entertained in.
Yeah, I would say the women's match was the only downfall. But like you said earlier, SmackDown, they gave us exactly what we needed. They was pushing their storylines. That's exactly what they gave us. They gave us no other BS in between or nothing. It was everything they got in regards of their storylines that they got going into WrestleMania Backlash. Now we did get a couple things in between. I'll say the Aleister Black thing is different, and then the KO thing is different, but you're still pushing that original storyline between him and Big E.
Right.
Like I said, I think KO gonna be Apollo Crews' right hand man. First match gonna be against KO because I can see them doing a feud with them, and KO and Big E gonna team up and shit. I can see that.
I can see that too.
But my match of the night basically same tag match. I would say runner up will be the KO match. That was pretty good. But I mean, that was and it's not really that often on Raw or SmackDown that we get a match that's like almost an hour that's actually good.
That is true.
When that happens, shit, you gotta give it what it give it. And shit, it's the match of the night. But your wrestler of the night, who would you give that to?
My wrestler of the night is actually going to go to Daniel Bryan. He looked good in the tag match, got the win against Jey Uso. But I love the fact that when the tribal chief stepped to him and said that, I don't like you. I never liked you. And I'm going to give you one more shot. But just know that when you lose, I want you gone. I like how D-Bry stepped up and Cesaro's like, you got to take the match. You got to take it. Because how many, I'm not even going to say baby faces, but just speaking regularly as a regular person, you putting your job on the line for one more chance at a title that you're probably not going to win, because you're not tapping out the tribal chief. He didn't tap at Fastlane, and he ain't tapping now. So I don't know what else you're going to do. You can take him into deep waters, but do you have enough power to get it done? And I'm really interested on how they're going to do that match as a television match on next Friday. Are they going to give it enough time, or is it just going to be something where Roman Reigns just handles Daniel Bryan and makes it look easy?
I don't know. But we got some rumors right now, and there's a lot of speculation that's going around that Randy Orton has suffered a shoulder injury during his match with Matt Riddle on Raw. Now, I hope this doesn't, if this is true, I hope this doesn't affect Matt Riddle push at all. If you are a rookie or just basically a new face into the WWE and you wrestle Randy Orton and you don't do things right, he do have a history of stopping your push via Kofi, via Mr. Kennedy. I just hope Matt Riddle don't fall on that line either.
Well, I heard that Randy
Orton, Mr. Kennedy dropped Randy Orton on his shoulder, kind of fucked his shoulder up, and that stopped his push. Reason why he had to drop the Money in the Bank stuff.
Yeah, but
he's supposed to become champion then.
Yeah, but I heard that I heard that Randy Orton has some type of condition where it's easy for him to separate his shoulders. So I don't think it's going to hurt Matt Riddle. They might just use it as a storyline to further the storyline, because now it's like you can really play that angle. Randy Orton comes back within maybe a couple weeks, maybe a month or two, and he comes back and he's like, I know your name now. You're the guy who put me out. Then they play up on that angle where better yet, play up on it to where Randy still doesn't know his name, but he just knows him as the guy who separated his shoulder. Play up on the angle like that, really make it stand out. But I don't think this is going to stop Riddle's push. If anything, I will hope that they will start to push him more. So because Randy has to get this win back. And if you push Matt Riddle the way he's supposed to be, when Randy Orton gets that win back, it's going to be that much bigger within the context of the storyline.
But the next rumor we got, according to Ringside News, they claim that Vince McMahon wanted fresh eyes on the product and management. This is why we got so many firings within all that. What happened recently. I mean, it could have been fresh eyes with management. I'm not pretty sure, but more like some of the wrestlers y'all released. Out of all the wrestlers y'all released, I think y'all should have kept Mickey James, the Iconics, and Samoa Joe for real. Everybody else I can kind of understand because you ain't used them in a while, but those was the shockers for real. I mean, like, y'all could do so much with Mickey. Like I said, when she was a vet, man, I don't know why. Like, well, I think when she came back with Alexa Bliss, I think that was her time when she could have won the Raw's Women's Championship. But at the time, it was just a Women's Championship.
Listen here. Mickey James, please go to NWA and come to AEW Dynamite and beat Serena Deeb for the NWA Women's Championship on a Wednesday night episode of Dynamite. That will really stick it to WWE. Not only did y'all let her go, y'all sent her stuff back to her in a trash bag. For her to go to NWA, beat Serena Deeb, who is the NWA Women's Champion, on an episode of AEW Dynamite. And what if that segment alone did over 1 million? You know how mad WWE would be?
They'd be punching air.
Vinnie Mac would be cussing up a storm. He wouldn't know what to do. This great woman's wrestler, you let her go. She went to not only a rival promotion, but then won their women's title on probably your biggest competition in the States. Now that's a storyline.
Mm-hmm. But according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Kalisto was released after he was troublesome for repeatedly trying to get out of the Lucha House Party, and he made it public that he was unhappy about his TV usage. So basically, that's why Kalisto was released. I don't blame him. Shit, the Lucha House Party, that was basically a jobber team. You know, at one point, Kalisto was getting booked or built up as, you know, the next Rey Mysterio. So for him to do that, and they just threw him in his jobber team just to get jobbed out, not taken serious. This comic relief team, I'll be mad too. Especially, you know, that at one point they did move him out. Well, he was still part of the Lucha House Party, but he didn't come out with them because they made it like the main team, Grand Metal Elite and let's say Dorado. But I don't know. I just hope Kalisto really make a name for himself to really tell WWE to suck it. Like, you missed out.
This is a former United States champion, I believe.
Yes. This
is a former United States champion, and you put him with a comic relief group and mad. I mean, they had him beat. Didn't they have him beat Braun Strowman in a dumpster match?
Mm-hmm. Because, you know, he stepped out. He kicked him.
Yeah, he kicked him when he was on the outside, and he landed in the trash can.
Yeah, his foot went in, so he lost. According to
the rules,
he lost. Well, yeah, Kalisto won.
Yeah, you guys had him beat Braun Strowman, and this is a former United States champion, and then you're mad because he doesn't like his standing within the company. Well, you were booking him strong to begin with, so why not continue that booking? We're not saying he has to challenge for the WWE or Universal Championship, but you could at least cap him in, you know, with
the mid card.
Yeah, the top.
Then I put the fucking cruiserweight title on him. I got so many options.
Yeah, he could have been doing that. So now you just release him. I hope he does go back to Mexico or go to Mexico if he's never been there, and I hope he makes his name down there. I hope he makes a bigger name than what he was in WWE.
He might make his name known for another company. Maybe New Japan, maybe AEW, maybe TNA. You never know.
I hope
wherever he goes, I just hope he make a name for himself to really show the league what they're missing.
Yeah, because they booked him strong, and then
that just shows you WWE one week you get booked as you the top of the world, and then next week just because you might say some stuff that they don't like, or you might come in wear something they don't like, now you're getting jobbed out
all the time.
But that's it, guys. That's a wrap. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the D&B Podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until then, we'll see you in the next one.